WWE pitches a first-time ever match for John Cena. We have an update on WrestleMania plans for The Rock and Cody Rhodes. And an Attitude Era faction has reunited. Find out which one in a little bit. John Cena returns to WWE as breaking news as of 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 weeks ago. But now we are looking in the future to WrestleMania season next year and what could be kicking off said season with the matches and whatnot, Adam.
Better Wrestling Experience have tweeted, Cena versus Solo for Royal Rumble / WrestleMania is currently looked at. We saw obviously a bit of an interaction between Cena and Solo on SmackDown this past Friday. How are you feeling about that one?
I don't know. I saw the nice picture Solo put on social media over the weekend where it's like manga from back in the day and John Cena doing the same pose down or showdown, stare down, that's what I'm looking for, that they did on Friday. But in terms of a match, I don't know. It screamed to me a very much more like storyline match than, 5-star banger. But then John Cena's pulled out his arse before, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. I'm cautiously optimistic following the Cena Theory match at WrestleMania, because I was like, this is great. This is going to be a star-making performance. This is going to push Austin Theory to the next level. It was gash. It was just like, it felt like Cena couldn't be asked. He cut the match short.
I don't think he could.
That was it. But maybe with Solo, maybe he'll give him a little bit more than he did Theory.
Yeah, it's looking interesting for the Bloodline, maybe in singles matches. You'd assume Jimmy and Jay will have a singles match. Roman will have a singles match with somebody, one of two opponents after Friday's SmackDown, and now Solo looking like he's getting John Cena. So yes, that could be a nice crescendo to the end of the Bloodline thing.
The story never ends, Ross.
It should do, though. It should do. It should do at the right time.
It should.
More John Cena news, because on social media over the weekend we saw Saudi Arabia's Riyadh season shared a video showcasing this year's sponsored events. When they brought up WWE Crown Jewel on November the 4th, it was revealed that the event would include the participation of John Cena. We all know that John Cena is booked in every episode of SmackDown through till the end of October, with this being at the start of November. It's a prime time for a big match to be set up.
It is. Grayson Waller, right?
Probably.
Is that the way it's going? It looks that way. I don't think they would rush Solo and Cena on the Saudi show on November 4th. It probably makes sense just to give John a big babyface win, because I think he'd be putting Solo over, won't he?
You'd assume so.
Thought that about Theory.
Yeah, well, he lost.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't give him much, did he?
I think that's more on Theory though, because Theory's just not that guy, is he? How can this guy share the ring with Austin, with Rock now, with Cena, and still have no one give a toss about him?
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah. But they see him as the next Cena. Yeah, maybe he'll put over Solo proper and do something proper with him. But I think he would probably beat Grayson Waller.
Yeah, big time.
You want to give him a win before he comes back at the Rumble.
It's a shame we're not back in 2018 when these Saudi shows were like not canon and just, the kings over there wanting certain wrestlers appearing on the show, because it would be John Cena versus, I don't know, insert wrestler from 20 years ago.
Yeah, Al Snow.
Yeah.
Star he's of hot at the moment.
The new Netflix series where he spends all the money with Reckless Abandon. What a lovely guy Al is. I don't know why I added that bit on the end there. He seems like a nice guy.
No, he thinks a lot of himself, doesn't he? He has got a great mind for it. I feel like he's sort of stuck in the past a little bit. It's a great watch. Have you watched it all?
I watched the first half of episode 1 yesterday and I'm hooked.
I think it's really fun. Yeah. It's a good show.
We have plans now for The Rock and Cody Rhodes ahead of WrestleMania next year. This comes from BWR once more, who said backstage we're ecstatic with The Rock's reactions on Friday's SmackDown, of course. However, no agreement over anything other than another meeting to discuss story options. Cody is still the priority at the moment. Of course, everyone's... Well, it depends how much you like Cody Rhodes. I guess it's either fears or like, yippee, he's not going to, end Roman's reign at WrestleMania next year, because it looks like now it's either going to be Cody or The Rock after the way things sort of played out on SmackDown.
Rock obviously opened up with Pat McAfee on Friday. Many of you will have seen that interview by now, saying that he and Roman Reigns was locked in for WrestleMania, but they couldn't agree on how to properly execute it, so they said they would explore more options after the merger was completed. Now that the merger's done, Rock has returned. Who knows? And he was saying basically the time wasn't right, which I think was the coolest thing to hear. The WWE essentially agreed with Rock that this is Cody's time now. Even though he didn't win, it's Cody's time now. We want to tell this story. It's so hot, what we're doing with Cody, that we're going to do that. They actually said no to a Rock-Roman match when it was on the table. They could have had that. Does that not fill you with hope for WWE?
No. Because we're back here once again, speaking about the same thing potentially happening next year. I don't know, that is nice to hear, of course, because there would have been a time where they're like, oh, The Rock's coming back, let's get him in there to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
So I guess on Dwayne's part as well, Dwayne The Rock, it's nice to see that he was giving enough care and attention to it that he said he's not ready and he's pulling out and they're going a different direction as well. I guess you want to, you know.
To me, they've prioritized the long-term story. Whatever you think of it right now, they prioritized the long-term story over the biggest money match they could feasibly do.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. And I really hope we still get that big money match. I don't know why it has to be at WrestleMania.
Let's get it at Saudi.
Yeah.
That's a more fitting stage for it, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock would not do that.
Why not?
Because he's a massive Hollywood megastar and it's Saudi Arabia. I don't think he would. I don't know, maybe.
Well, there's only one reason he's back in the wrestling, right at this moment in time in history, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, right. His promo, him being the Rock pronouns pal, was edited, as we all saw on SmackDown, as we've been told by Owen Morrison. Because I've just full disclosure, we went on like a little, work to do on Friday, and I was half cut on Friday night. Got back, saw the Rock had returned, stuck his promo on. Couldn't remember the cuts actually happening. But
Could you
Owen,
not?
No, it just seemed like a nice, natural, Rock return sort of promo. But Owen has said a word was bleeped or removed from a promo numerous times, and that word was Adam.
Asshole.
Goodness
Apparently,
me.
I watched it on YouTube and I just thought they'd cut it for monetization reasons on YouTube. I didn't realise that it had aired like that on TV. Anyway, update from Fightful Select. For those asking about the heavy edits to the Rock's promo on Friday, it was because of possible FCC violations as opposed to anything TVPG related. There's nothing connected to TVPG that actually prevents foul language. Didn't know that. It's not enforced for like MPAA for movies and ESRB for video games. Any idea on what?
It's very interesting because do you remember when the hot and sexy third hour of Raw was being muted, when it was like, oh, people are going to take their shirts off more than they do already and say bitch a number of times and stuff like that. Do you remember? So that makes that make no sense from back in the day.
Asshole. That's not that bad. What's the deal with that?
On the pantheon of swear words, it's pretty low down, I would say.
Really low down.
And it's The Rock. That's all he used to say back in the day.
Yeah, he said way worse.
Yeah.
That they'll happily replay as well. Anyway, that's what happened.
That's what happened anyway. But then, of course, while The Rock was on SmackDown last week, we also had an Attitude Era faction reuniting at what looks to be some kind of convention, but The Rock was not there, presumably because his fee is a little bit more than the likes of D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry. It was, of course, the Nation of Domination, Adam.
It was Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Godfather, and Mark Henry. You can see a lovely little picture behind. They're all looking really well, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, they're all looking really well.
Especially Farouk.
Especially Farouk, given his age, right?
Must be in his mid-60s now, surely.
Yeah, got to be late,
God.
maybe even early 70s.
Fantastic
Yeah,
genetics.
he is. Yeah, fair play to him. Before we finished, a big popular NXT star making a main roster appearance. Who is it?
Bloody Tiffy Stratz, was it? I think I saw this on Twitter last night. My goodness me, yes, fighting Becky Lynch once again after the NXT title match, which went the wrong way last Tuesday with Becky Lynch getting the big win. But it looks like Tiffy Stratz is getting sort of like, readied for the main roster, working with the biggest dog in the game. I used the wrong word there, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Becky Lynch is the big dog on the scene. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Big dog man, isn't she,
Yeah,
Ross?
terrible. It's Monday morning.
I actually don't mind the title change.
Do you not?
Because I think, I was chatting about this with Tom on Friday, I think this is setting up for Jade Cargill to come in and beat Becky Lynch for the NXT title.
For the NXT. Oh, and put it down to NXT.
And give her a bigger win than it would be for Tiffany Stratton. Everybody would expect Jade Cargill to beat Tiffany, but Becky Lynch?
No, it would never happen.
No,
I reckon
but it will.
It would be interesting if Jay was the trade. Cody's got Jay going to Raw. There's a trade going to SmackDown. What if it was Jade?
Put her straight in there.
My goodness. I think you do that with a woman who looks and can do what she can do.
She's going to be massive.
She only has to wrestle once a month to get her reps and whatnot on TV. It's fine. We can get there. We don't need to go to NXT. Because this win for Becky Lynch, you know what it felt like when Goldberg came back and took the title of Kevin Owens? This is what it felt like for us NXT loyalists. Me and Matthew both agreed.
Two of you.
Yeah. All two of us. There's thousands who watch the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast. But anyway, Tiffany Stratton is the future of the business. The footwork is impeccable.
Jade Cargill is the future.
Tiffany Stratton is up there as well in the conversation. The character works there.
She is very good.
She's got all the moves.
I'm not going to go. She doesn't have that star power. She's going to be
Tiffany
massive.
Stratton.
Not in comparison to Jade.
Maybe
I
not.
don't think.
Not the presence.
I don't think. But no, her character was amazing. And she's good. She's really good. She's improved loads, hasn't she?
She's incredible.
Sorry.
She is. She went toe-to-toe with Becky Lynch. She looked like she belonged.
No, I agree.
She's been wrestling for like 2
Make
years.
it out, I disagree with you. She's class. She's really, really good.
You keep laughing when I say she's amazing. She's
your
the best
passion.
wrestler in the
It's
world
your passion.
today.
I love your passion. I love your passion.
Right, that was it for News Video 1 today. Join us later on for News Video 2. I've been Ross, joined by Adam, and we'll see you in a little bit.